Yes.
I think in the beginning of these, we just made crazy faces.
Let's do crazy face. Right? 1, 2, 3. We did the same crazy face.
That's a little weird. Okay, you guys vote which one of us has a crazier face. 1, 2, don't.
Oh, wait, we're doing a vote?
1, 2, 3. Mine was definitely weirder.
You think so?
Maybe.
I think I'm turning red. This is getting me hot.
Yeah, that's why we're not here for that.
Anyway, hi. Welcome. So we're here again on Wednesdays, which we're excited about. We're trying to do this every Wednesday in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So we were laughing earlier. Not like you have to mark your calendars, but it would be super cool if you wanted to hang out with us. Maybe we'll get like a show syndicated.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means? I don't know what that means either. If someone knows what the syndicated show means, just tell us in the comments. I think the comments they're right there. They're right there. Comment over there.
Crazy.
And but yeah, we want to talk about who we are first, right?
Sure. So I'm Abigail.
I'm Matt.
We both work on Sermon Central.
Yes.
Talk to people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
So we've had a fun day today. We got to talk about church quite a bit. Our jobs, which is great, obviously. And then we just sat down right now. We had been discussing what to talk about, and I was telling Abby about we've talked a lot about this idea, like, are ministry people lazy?
Yeah.
And
what triggered actually this conversation, is my pastor lazy, was something specific that we saw today in our realm, in our world. We do a lot of different stuff. We're not going to be specific, but I think it's important for you to share kind of what triggered this story.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have several websites here in the
Sure.
not in the building because they're on the internet, but we have a lot of websites in our wheelhouse, whatever. And on one of our sites, we're running an ad, and the ad is for senior pastors. And if they fill out a form or do something, they get a free week vacation. Yeah. Which seems great, right? Like, I don't know if it really works. I haven't filled it out. I don't know. Yeah. But what I do know is in the comments then, so again, the ad was for a senior pastor to get a week-long vacation. So in the comments, someone said, why do they need a vacation? Don't they take a vacation 52 weeks of the year? Like, oh man, that's rough, right? So anyway.
Basically saying, like, what do you mean, pastor? Like, to be a pastor is to take a vacation
they don't
all the time.
work, right?
Yeah.
They don't work, right? Like, man, well, anyway, so like, Abby's dad was and is a pastor.
Yeah, he's currently still a pastor,
Right.
Yeah.
I've been a pastor for many, many years in many different ways. That sounds weird, but different
seasons,
different things.
Yeah.
And I know I know a ton of you know a ton of folks in ministry. Like, the problem is with this idea is my pastor lazy. Maybe it's more fair to say, like, do you personally know a person in ministry who is really lazy?
And have you sat down and had coffee with someone in ministry? Have you sat down and had coffee with your pastor and really gotten to know him? Because I gotta say, growing up with a pastor...
There you go. Share some of that.
Yeah, growing up with a pastor, being a pastor's kid, in the middle of family dinner, my dad would answer his phone. And that's not to say, oh, my dad was this bad, dad that he picked. But, emergency, someone's in the hospital. The pastor is going to be the first one there by their bedside praying with them. That kind of stuff. That's what being a pastor is. Right. It's really it's a full-time job. Full-time job doesn't even do it justice half the time.
No, how do you... most people have a full-time job, but do you have a job where you work full-time and then you are full-time on call? Yeah. Right? Like,
all the time.
Yeah. It's, even people I know that are doctors. Yeah. They take rotations of being the on-call doctor because you can't do that for a long time. Yep. So anyway, it's nutty though. Yeah. And I think, just like what you said, we struggled for a long time trying to figure out the balance of how to manage ministerial life with just being healthy. And admittedly, I don't know that we did it very well. Yeah. And it's a hard balance. It is a hard balance, right. And it's such thing as ministry burnout. And you see that
almost everywhere.
Right.
For you that are watching right now, what do you guys think? I mean, what has been your experience with your pastor or with people in ministry?
Right.
Do they struggle to take time and be healthy, or like what has been your interaction with people? Or if you are that person, how do you best take Sabbath and take breaks and learn how to be healthy?
Right.
Because we're interested. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, very much. And I don't even think we're interested. I think there's other people in ministry who would love to hear, hey, how do you manage this? Mm-hmm. So I always thought it was really important to set your day off and let that day off be public. Yeah. Right? So like, hey, the pastoral staff does not work from Sunday at 2 p.m. till Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. or whatever. Yep. Like, this is the time off. Mm-hmm. And then you publicize that. And then during that time, you give the congregation other options if they need help. So like, okay, so this is the time off for the pastor. And during this time, here are, 3 phone numbers of different ministry folks that you can call.
Elders
depending
or
on,
other,
depending on what you need help with. Like, so I always felt like it just being upfront about it. And then again, and then you have to really let your pastor and your staff know, hey, this is your time off. Like, do not. Like, you can't break the boundary. Yep. Anyway, that's the hard part too, is if you really are truly wound up to shepherd and pastor and care for people, it is unbelievably difficult to hear of someone having a need and then you're kind of having to be like, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what you're wired to do. I mean, that's why people are in ministry, right? And so, it can be very difficult. Right. I do think it's important. But just going back to other people's perceptions, I just think we need to be really careful and often ask more questions than we do have answers, right? Instead of saying, this is how it is, why would a pastor need a vacation? Maybe ask, does a pastor need a vacation?
There you
why
go.
would they? Ask people that are ministry leaders. If you don't have those, search them out and look for them and ask them what it's like. Because, yeah.
Dude, amen. There you go. And here's another way to look at that whole thing is, if you have in any job you have, right, a rested and healthy employee is a much better asset.
Absolutely.
Than the other side, which is like a burnt out, overworked, tired employee who's not present, who's unable to really think and problem solve. And that's the same with the folks in the ministry. If you're not giving them adequate breaks and time to breathe and time to be human and healthy, and then from the congregation standpoint or the leadership standpoint, the reality is, if you take time to help build health in, you'll get that out tenfold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So it's a funny problem we have in our kind of, I would say, American mindset. I think that's not reaching, but it seems like in America especially, we just don't.
Hustle. We don't know how to rest or break.
Right. And I even know I know a lot of people in ministry who are actively trying to develop a side hustle to help pay for being in the ministry. Yeah. Again, is that what you want from your leadership? If it is, then carry on. But
there's a lot to dive into there. But I think we can land on not even making comments like that, but just trying to understand and reach out to leaders. And ask questions of them. And then if you are a leader, are you on the track to burn out? Are you about to burn out? You know what I mean? Is this for you? Are we speaking right to you?
How long can you do this?
And is God calling you to rest in this season? Maybe he is, and what does that look like?
So, we've got a lot of cool, really good teachers, even in our city and in the outreach family, that really have good teaching on Sabbath.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be cool to get somebody in like that. And
maybe we'll link, I don't know, if we'll find a resource on Sabbath and just link it into the comments for you guys to check out, that you can, what does that mean? What does Sabbath look like? What does rest look like? We'll link that in the comments for you guys. And
I think too, to end, so as a pastor's kid who grew up, and now you're active in your local church, committed. But what advice would you give to someone watching? Maybe they're currently a pastor and they have kids and they're kind of like, man, what can I do? So what would your advice be to someone, someone in ministry with kids? How can you really help speak value into that kid? How can you help them know you really do care about them? And also letting them see, like, hey, this is a worthy cause that our family's involved in. So what do you think?
I don't know if there's a one blanket answer. I mean, it's just complicated. I mean, definitely, I think the first step is always prayer. Like, pray. And I know that can sound like a cop-out, but it's really pray and ask the Lord what rhythm is right for our family. Are we like a once a week, every week we need that week off? Is it, I mean, what is it? What's the rhythm that's good for your family? And then stick to it and then and follow through. And I think you can show your kids how to be healthy and how to take time to rest at the same time. Like, you can also show them how to sacrificially give and how to, so it's a balance and it's different for every family. But I think both, you can show your kids both.
That's good, because you're right. Yeah, it is.
Because sometimes they need to learn, sorry, we actually can't go do this right now because someone else is in need and they need help more than we need to go to the park right now. And that's okay to teach them that and to teach them how to really sacrificially give as kids and die to self a little. But at the same time, it's important to teach them how to rest and, not get burnt out. And so both are important, and you got to just hold both, Yeah,
I thought you said, too, is being prayerful and mindful over your own family. Because I think God will help you see if, one kid or a spouse or someone's really feeling empty.
Or they're struggling and they need more time with you, or they need this, or,
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I started, I know a lot of people do this really well, but I know one thing that helped us a lot was with my son, we have regular man time together.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we go just kind of whatever. He likes to eat pizza and drink soda pop and just talk.
Yep.
So we just go do that, and then my daughter and I have dates, and they're usually, it's usually quite funny. She wants to buy earrings and eat ice cream, and but it's so fun.
Yeah, but just having that intentional time every week or every month or whatever it is,
Right, and really the kids respond. I think it's, to share one quick story, but last time I had a date with my daughter, she was waiting all day long for that. Like, she was so excited, and even when I left in the morning, she was asking me, like, okay, what time are you coming home?
Oh.
I want to make sure I'm ready. And so,
That's
they
precious.
really, there's that piece to it. And then, as a side note, like, if you say you're going to do it, you better do
Follow
it.
through.
Yeah, but that's a side note. But the idea of being, to create those times and spaces, because that really that's really special for them. So
yeah,
I like what you said, being prayerful, and there'll be seasons when you need to do more of that.
Yep.
And there'll be other seasons where they're doing pretty good. So.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
Great. We hope this was educational and helpful. Again, we still want to interact with you guys, so feel free to comment even after this live is over and tell us, share with us, engage with us on this topic.
And I would say, if you ask the question, is Abby Matt, like, is my pastor lazy? I don't know. Can you tell me? Let me tell you, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
You probably don't fully understand the job of a pastor. But if you believe or you have a feeling that your pastor is lazy, Abby said, buy them a cup of coffee and talk to them about what they do and ask them, hey, how's your family? What are your struggles? How are you doing in the ministry? Ask them all. Anyway, it works wonders. It's really amazing when people talk to each other.
When they actually ask questions instead of assume, right?
Yes, that's right. So anyway.
Yep.
Cool. Well,
awesome.
Thanks for hanging out, y'all, and we'll see you next Wednesday.